If you have made moimoi in the past, or each time you make it, you always find that something is not right, join me, let's make moimoi together as I share with you a few tips to achieve delicious moimoi. Hello, my name is Remy and I share very useful tips and tricks to help your cooking get better. I welcome both new and returning viewers. Welcome to my channel. I hope that if you're new here, you will subscribe and join us. Okay, let's get straight into the recipe. For this recipe, I'm using 2 cups of brown beans. This is popularly called olo. It is very close to drum, but it is very nice for moimoi as well. I have peeled and washed the beans. So I'm going to pour that in a blender. I should mention that I soaked these beans for about 2-3 hours. I'm going to add about 4 bell peppers. They are not so big. I have cayenne peppers. I took out the seed from this. I have 3 of that. And just a bit of red scotch bonnet. I added that, and I'm using red onions. A little of this if you're using red. If you have white, you can use more because red onions can cause discoloration. I added about 1 finger ginger and of course some garlic. I've added some water. This should be enough to blend the first batch. You know, for moimoi that you're making at home where you have to soak the beans, I always say that after soaking the beans for so long, do not add too much water when you're blending and when you're mixing it, because there's only so much water that already soaked beans can take, unlike when you take to the commercial grinding machine where you don't have to soak for too long. So the first batch is ready and I am going to blend the second. If after watching this video you find it useful, please do not leave without giving me a thumbs up, and also if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. There are loads of amazing recipes, useful tips and tricks that I am going to show you. Now that I am done with blending, I added 2 tablespoons of blended crayfish. I am using 2 stock cubes. I'm going to add some salt and of course vegetable oil. Using just my spatula, I'm going to mix this properly to make sure that I combine all the ingredients. So far, the water I've added is just water which I used in rinsing out the blender. And I want you to take note of the thickness. I will not make it lighter than this. This consistency is perfect. If you'll be wrapping your moimoi in leaves, it will be good if you can line your pot with some leaf stalk. I couldn't get the stalks from the leaves that we use to wrap moimoi, but I got ugu stalks, so that will work too. I also started with very little amount of water. If you don't have leaf stalks, you can use a steam rack, or you can just use the pot as it is, but make sure you start with very little amount of water so that in the process of boiling, the water will not get into the leaves and then into your moimoi. I have showed how to wrap moimoi leaves already on my channel, and that is why I'm not going over this again. So if you'd like to know how to wrap moimoi leaves, please refer to my previous video, making sure that I do not overfill the leaves so it doesn't cause spillage. Carefully, I'm going to place this in the pot, arrange everything nicely, and notice that I'm adding water to the sides of the pot and not directly on the leaves. This is to make sure that water does not get into the leaves. This has been cooking for some 35 minutes and I'm going to check now to see if it's ready. This is looking good. It smells great too. I'm going to list out the ingredients and measurements in the description box so you can check it out. The texture of this moimoi is just perfect. If I had added more water than I did earlier, the moimoi will be running all over the place. Look at how well put together it is, and this is the texture you want to aim for when you're making moimoi. Please feel free to use whatever container you have at your disposal that is safe. I hope these tips will help you improve on making moimoi. If you try this recipe, please share on Instagram and tag me at foodierenrem. I would like to see. Thank you so much for taking time to watch today's video. I will see you again with another fantastic recipe. Take care of yourselves and bye-bye.